Is this going to be the next big EV stock? What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove it. And we have a very exciting one today. So a company called XL Fleet, they're in Hybrid Solutions, an electric vehicle related company who is going public via a SPAC. We have heard this story many times over the last 6 months or so. I have to say, very interesting looking company. Everybody on the channel knows at this stage, I love EV. All of my most successful companies right now are EV related stocks. If I didn't invest in the EV companies I decided to invest in, things would not be looking good. I also have very high expectations for my EV stocks. I don't invest in them easily, you know. I don't just see an EV SPAC and decide, you know what, I'm gonna click the buy button. There's been many I've passed on. Canoe, first of all, okay, ticker symbol HCAC, I passed on them. SPAC, SPAQ, Fisker, I passed on them. I've only actually invested in 2, and that was Hyliion and Lordstown Motors, and both of them are literally the 2 best performing companies in my portfolio. So when I'm looking into an EV company, okay, I hold them to a really high level. So today we're gonna see if XL Fleet hits that level, if I'm going to be willing to invest in them, if they will be potentially my next big EV play. A lot of people are calling these guys the Hyliion of, you know, class 2 to 6 vehicles, and I can see exactly why. We're offering powertrain solutions. There are some really attractive numbers being thrown out there by a lot of people, and so my goal today is going to be make everything as easy to understand as possible, and to not just throw out really exciting numbers, but explain them to you. So if you appreciate that, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? It really does help me and the channel out. If you're new around here, what are you waiting for, my friend? Hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family of investors. And please drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this company if you're doing your own research, or else what you think off the back of this video. So with that being said, guys, very exciting company. Let's get into it. So this right here is the company. It's XL Fleet. You can see here they have fleet ready electrification solutions. We'll get into all of these a little bit later. You can see they're the leading transition to fleet electrification with over 133 million customer miles driven. So, you know, very established. That's important. We're not looking at another Nikola. They have products out there right now, and a lot of products out there right now. They are ahead of the game in an awful lot of ways, but of course we'll get into that. Now this is the SPAC that they will hopefully be doing the merge with, okay? Pivotal Investment Corp 2, ticker symbol PIC on the New York Stock Exchange. So this is brand new news. You'll see it literally came out yesterday. We shot up over 14% the first day. After hours, we're up another 10.5%. There is already a lot of hype here, okay? Now the main reason I believe that is so is because of Hyliion, in all honesty. We've saw what happened with Hyliion. We've saw the belief that people have in powertrain solutions. I've seen a lot of people throw around the words, the next Hyliion. I want to get that out of your heads from the start, okay? This is their own company. Let's just put it that way. Obviously, we will compare them to Hyliion. We'll compare them to Lordstown, to Workhorse, a lot of the big EV players. But just understand, this isn't Hyliion. It's its own company, and I think that they would be happier for us to take them as that. So right off the bat, I love to see it. It is hybrid. Not necessarily my favorite thing in the whole wide world, but still, there's a massive market there. We work with a lot, and I mean a lot of really big names that we will get into a little bit later. The transaction overview, the first thing I want to point out, okay, is the merger values XL at an implied $1 billion pro forma enterprise value, and the combined company expects to receive approximately $350 million of proceeds of cash at closing, and there is a fully committed $150 million PIPE at $10 a share. So right off the bat, a lot of positive signs, you know what I mean? I do genuinely really like the look of these guys. So we're having a look at the investor presentation, but right before we get into that, I just want to show you a very short, I think it's like 30-second extract from an interview I watched earlier. So we're interviewing the founder of the company right now. And anyway, here we go.
We are a leader in the industry with thousands of units on the road, real revenue. We're growing at 3x this year. We'll do over 75 million in revenue next year. So we're a real company that's scaling rapidly in this industry, and we've been able to develop this position on about $50 million of venture funding to date. This capital enables us to really build off of that, grow, invest in more products, expand our offering from hybrid and plug-in to all-electric solutions, and really build out our technology platform to enable charging infrastructure to be deployed more effectively, and really deploy a lot of infrastructure capital into this market, which again is massive and just about to take off.
So very interesting off the bat, okay, a lot of information in a very short period of time. We heard the number 3x this year. Right off the bat, that gets people very excited. He makes it very clear they're a real business with real products out there on the roads right now, and it says we could be looking at 75 million next year. So that's the basics of everything, you know. We've some sort of an idea of what the transaction's going to look like. We have a broad idea of what they do. We know they have physical products. We know that they seem to be growing quickly. Let's see what the deal is. So the vision, to be the world leader in fleet electrification, okay, I love that, love to hear it. And the mission, to accelerate fleet electrification through cost-effective, customer-tailored and comprehensive solutions. Yeah, perfect. So I mean, the business overview, okay, massive market first of all. Global total addressable market of about $1 million. $1 million. $1 million. right off the bat, I just have to say, that just looks like a big number thrown out there for the fun of it. Not that there isn't that global total addressable market, but I mean, it's global. It is literally the entire world, okay? So I pay no attention to that in all honesty. There's 1 million vehicles sold annually in North America alone, experiencing dramatic demand for more sustainable solutions. That's very important. So far, they're a market leader, no denying it, trusted by over 200 fleet customers with 3,000 plus systems deployed and 130 plus million customer driven miles. So this is one of the biggest things to me. Very well established company as it stands. We have lots of customers and we'll go through some of the names later on, but they're big customers, which could make it easier to, grow going forwards. We already have a lot of big names on our side. They could lead to more deals down the line. Very important. So our proven technology, we have a broad portfolio of proven, cost-effective solutions for numerous vehicle classes and segments with rapid product development capabilities. And that's one of the things I gathered from that interview is, part of the capital being raised will go towards, producing new products, expanding into more of the market. So they have established production that can scale to 100,000 plus units annually, and XL's capital efficient operating model is ready to scale and drive profitability. And we're future proof, which I think a lot of EV companies are. We're uniquely positioned to deliver on electrification as a service and turbocharge growth as the market evolves. So all in all, very good. Love to see it. Great business model. Really, really good business model. So there's a compelling and massive market opportunity, which is 100% true. Before we get into this, I want to show you guys one thing. It's right here, okay? XL Fleet is well positioned across electrification spectrum. They're focused on class 2 to 6 vehicles right now. So 7 to 8 is future development. But right now, we have utility vans, pickup trucks, pretty much everything that's not an absolutely massive vehicle. So this is the target market. So the problem is, we need to reduce emissions now, but virtually all fleet vehicles today are powered by fossil fuels. Again, this is one of those situations where if you have a really good understanding of the EV market, you're going to read that and think to yourself, you're not wrong, but it's also not correct. There's a lot more fleets using electric vehicles right now, no doubt about it, and I don't think that's arguable either. Full EV production capacity has barely started and will take decades to supply the whole market. And again, that's very true, but you don't need to take the whole market at the end of the day. I mean, within 5 years, there's going to be a whole lot of fully electric vehicles out there. Not to say there won't be a whole lot more that aren't fully electric, but still, it's just one thing I wanted to point out. As I've looked into more investor presentations, I really do like to read between the lines, and I like to be really picky with the wording they use, but still, all in all, it's fine. So this is the broad opportunity for HEV and PHEV, okay? The light commercial and medium commercial, which is what they can focus on right now, growing the fastest anyway, so that's very good. Heavy commercial, yeah, not growing as fast, they're not involved in them, yeah, it's fine. But one thing here, the plug-in hybrid creates first mover advantage in the transition to EV. We all know how important the first mover advantage is. It's what's put Tesla in the position they are today. It's what's filled me with so much confidence in regards to Lordstown. Very important to see and very, very good to see. Now, projected cumulative units sold, okay? We can see XL Fleet well ahead of the market. So these black bars are 2020. You can see some of these companies have nothing. Workhorse has a small amount. We know our 300 to 400. Then our projected cumulative units. Now again, I know a fair bit about the companies we are being compared to right now. I fully expect that Hyliion, Workhorse and Lordstown are actually going to beat their targets. But still, there's no arguing. It looks to be in a fantastic position. I mean, these guys have had products on the road for a much longer period of time on a way bigger scale. And what is again really awesome about these guys is they already have a customer base of over 100 customers as it stands. That is really important. So we have an established track record, okay? We've 200 plus fleet customers, 10 plus years of experience, 130 million miles driven, and 3,000 vehicles on the road. And again, if we just go up here, they want over 4,200 by the end of the year, so I don't know if that's going to happen. The diverse base of customers, okay? As I said, these guys work with massive names. You can look through all of these, you're going to know an awful lot of them. You see names like Coca-Cola, we see FedEx, DHL, NYC, Pepsi. I mean, there's loads of massive names there. So what's really good about having these established relationships here, okay, is that some of them might buy a few of your products or services just to test it out to see how it goes. And then as they get confidence in you, they will buy more and more, which is what we've seen. The individual order size is rapidly going. So this is the largest annual order. They had 234 in 2018, 350 in 2019, 1100 in 2020. Now what that also does say to me, all things considered, is that an awful lot of their orders are coming from one company, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, it's just something worth noticing. And they're looking at 3 times revenue growth in 2020. We will get into the financials later on, don't worry. So a little bit on the products that they're offering. The XL Hybrid, okay, so they improve MPG by about 25% and meet sustainability goals without compromising performance. It's a decent little upgrade, and there's no operational risk or infrastructure required to fleet operators, so very good, it's a win-win for absolutely everybody. Now the XL plug-in, okay, innovative plug-in hybrid system, and that's capable of driving up to 50% savings in MPG. And then they have XL Electric, a zero emissions offering. The XL Electric, however, is not available at the moment. So I mean, here's just a few examples. They work with everyone. You know, they have fire departments here, just your standard van. We have last mile delivery vehicles. Now this is where things get very exciting, okay? Is as I touched on it earlier, there is massive scalability to this business as it stands. They already have a network of production partners who already produce 100,000 plus commercial vehicles per year. Now again, this is one of those things where I want to play devil's advocate. I know for a fact a lot of these companies will just be looking into electric vehicle fleets, which would make some of these obsolete. Obviously, if you buy a fully electric vehicle for your business, you don't need a hybrid system, you don't need a powertrain. So again, it's fantastic. There's immense scalability here. There really is absolutely no denying it in my mind. But I do just want to keep reminding people that, you know, pure electric plays are getting more popular as well. I mean, we've seen it with Lordstown Motors with their 40,000 plus pre-orders. That's a lot of pre-orders, people. Now, the leadership team. Obviously, I'm not going to go through this because it gets really boring. Go through these guys. Have to say, immense team. Fair play to these guys. Incredible team. A whole lot of experience. And as well, if you want to have a look into the SPAC team, which is an important thing to do as well, have a look. They're all here. And again, good looking team. So the summary just before we finish up the investor presentation, okay? Massive market opportunity with accelerating adoption and long runway for growth. Trusted name in fleet electrification, yep. Extensive blue chip customer base. Asset light and highly scalable business. Lower risk and faster path to EAAS. Now the thing here, okay, the financials. So we have a look at, you know, the revenue, okay? And we're not looking at making a lot of money for a few years, but that's fine. That's the same with all of these other EV companies. We're looking to be profitable this year, which is fantastic. And then you see the growth going forwards, massive. Now the thing here, our revenue 2024 estimated is at $1.377 billion. And that implies 6% penetration of North American Class 2 to 8 commercial vehicle market. 6% is a lot. And I'm not sure where they are coming up with this number, but it's an awful lot. But when they're speaking about the entirety of the Class 2 to Class 8 commercial vehicle market, it just really is a lot. And that translates to about 340 million in gross profit. This is one thing I'm not quite sure what to make of, but we'll have to wait and see. Now this is something I always look to see, what they're going to do with the funds raised. So 25 million scale for core profitability, increased organization capacity and scale up sourcing operations. Very happy with that. 50 million in product development, that's perfect. That's where I want to see money going. 25 million in international expansion. If you watch my videos, you know that especially when it comes to EV, I want to see this a lot. 80 million going into electrification as a service and 170 million into corporate development / general corporate. That's fine. You know, it's fine. It's a lot of the money. I would like to see more going into development and international expansion, but these guys are a lot smarter than me. So right off the bat, when I read through this and I watched that interview, my initial reaction was, yeah, things look really exciting. They really do. One thing I do want to say is I felt like they pick and chose their words a lot of the time, but we do see that in a lot of investor presentations. They have to make themselves look good. This was the other thing that really caught my attention and was the only, you know, potential negative I saw was the 6% penetration. I mean, that is a lot, people. It really is a lot. And the thing is, it's an awful lot, and it still just leaves us with a gross profit of $340 million. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Things can always change as well. Right off the bat, it's very exciting. I have to admit, it's gotten me more excited than I've been about a company for quite a while. And I think the market feels the same way I do. I mean, going up 14.3% the first day, going up over 10.5% after hours going into the weekend, that is not something you see very much. I think the volatility is going to be nuts. I don't think this is going to be a Fisker or a Canoe. I think it's going to be very volatile very quickly, at least for the first week or so. One other thing, not a lot of news out lately. We've seen 5 articles this year, and again, that's not something to be held against them too much, but you guys know me, you know I love seeing news coming out left, right and center, especially when a company is going public, or even if it is through a SPAC. Something else worth noticing, guys, mainstream media is on this. I mean, look at all of these articles, all of which have pretty much come out in the last 24 hours. I mean, we don't see that every day, even with SPACs. But to be honest, they're all just saying a whole lot of nothing. They're just writing the article to get it out there. So I mean, the all-important question, you know, do I plan on investing? Very exciting company who clearly has absolutely amazing prospects. I have the weekend to think about it. I mean, I know it could easily open up at $13.50, $14, even $15 a share, depending on how many people get excited. What I will say from the start, I expect it to go crazy. I really do, whether it goes crazy high or it goes up and has a massive pullback, as we've seen with a lot of SPACs. Either way, I expect it to go pretty crazy. This one is going to have hype for multiple reasons, okay? One, because it's a SPAC, and SPACs are the hot thing right now. Two, because it's an EV company, an actual EV company. Three, because it's offering these powertrain solutions, and we've all seen the success of Hyliion. And also, I think that they sold it really well. I mean, the interviews I've seen, they throw out a lot of really exciting facts and figures. The investor presentation puts forward a lot of growth potential, a lot of excitement. I see massive potential. What I will say is my mind is not 100% made up yet on whether I will or won't invest in these guys. But as I said, I have the weekend to think about it. But guys, that is my update on this very exciting company. I do strongly suggest you guys, go do your bit of research, do your due diligence. We'll see what else happens over today and tomorrow before market opens on Monday, see if any more news comes out. Straight off the bat though, looks very exciting. Definitely a big opportunity here. So guys, if you have watched until the end of the video, as always, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your support. If you did enjoy, could I please ask, just gently tap that like button. It's free and it really helps me out. And if you're new around here, hit the juicy red subscribe button, and please drop me a comment and let me know what you think about the company as well. Also, if you do want to know if I end up buying these guys in real time, hit that juicy first link in the description and become a Patreon. You will get full access to my private Discord where I give you guys every single buy and sell alert. Every time I buy a company, I let you know exactly how much, at what price point, the reasons behind it. We also have so many chats where we just talk about things, we speak about SPACs, value stocks, dividend stocks, individual stocks, loads of juicy information in there. But this one definitely has caught my eye. Again, my mind's not 100% made up on it just yet. I think I just need to do a little bit more research. But anyway guys, I really do appreciate you being here. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Have a fantastic day. I will see you for a second video later on. Peace.